Cowboys make list of early NFL season surprises. As former NFL Super Bowl winning scout, Brian Broaddus says, the NFL is a strange lady. What he means by this is that most times the season doesn't go the way everyone expects it to. If it was that easy, the majority Super Bowl pick would win the championship every season, and we can all stop debating who would be there. Why bother placing bets? Why bother watching the games? The answer is simple: the unpredictability of the NFL is one of its most beautiful traits. Not knowing which teams will unexpectedly lose or win is one of the most exciting parts of being a fan. Parity in the NFL is at an all-time high, and the 2024 season has already given us a list of random surprises. The Cowboys find themselves on this list, and not for a good reason. Today, I want to take a peek around the league and just point out surprising facts that have stood out to me through the first 4 weeks. Each team has played 4 games except the participants of the Monday Night Football doubleheader: Tennessee, Miami, Seattle, and Detroit. Cowboys make list of early NFL season surprises. The Undefeateds. This section is reserved for the teams who have unexpectedly completed the first quarter of the season without a loss. The Kansas City Chiefs are the only team left off of this list because a 4-0 record with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback isn't a surprise at all. Notable teams who lost their undefeated status in Week 3 include the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Could the first team on this list join them after Monday Night Football? Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks, led by veteran QB Geno Smith, are sitting pretty at 3-0 headed into a Monday Night Football matchup with the Detroit Lions. The train may be coming to a halt when they face Dan Campbell's bunch. Seattle's victims this season have a combined record of 4-7, and they've faced a rookie-led Broncos team, won a close game versus the Patriots, and beat a toolless Dolphins team. The 12th man won't be present in Detroit, and the Seahawks' undefeated party might be coming to an end. Minnesota Vikings. The only other team besides the Chiefs guaranteed a perfect record until Week 5 is the Minnesota Vikings. Powered by a resurgent Sam Darnold, the Vikings sit atop the NFC with a 4-0 record. Unlike the Seahawks, the Vikings' wins are over legitimate contenders. Kevin O'Connell's bunch has taken down the San Francisco 49ers, Houston Texans, and the Green Bay Packers, along with a dominant win over the New York Giants. They've also managed to do this with star T.J. Hawkinson sidelined with injury. Minnesota has shocked us all early on. Washington Commanders. The NFC East might be back in 2024 as the NFC least, because who in the world expected the Commanders, led by rookie QB Jaden Daniels, would be in first place through 4 games? We can make all the jokes we want to, but Daniels, a Heisman winner, has brought his talent to the NFL and is playing some good football for new HC Dan Quinn. Washington started slow with a loss to Tampa Bay in the opener, but since have gone on a 3-game win streak. Led by Daniels, the Commanders have put up 21, 38, and 42 points since that opening week loss. This included wins over the Bengals and Cardinals. Don't look now, but the NFC East champion might not be the Cowboys or the Eagles. Pittsburgh Steelers. Another surprise division leader is the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Bengals and Ravens have disappointed and sit at 1-3 and 2-2 for the season, respectively. Pittsburgh has used stout defense and solid, yet unspectacular play from their offense. Russell Wilson has still not suited up as a Steeler as he continues to deal with a nagging calf injury. Justin Fields has stepped in amicably. Fields leads the Steelers' offense in both passing and rushing yards, and although he isn't playing to the level of a first-round pick, he is doing enough to rack up victories. Cowboys' home record. The Dallas Cowboys are 2-2 on the season after dispatching the New York Giants on Thursday Night Football last week. Their record isn't a shocker, but when you consider where the losses occurred, it might raise your eyebrows. Mike McCarthy's bunch was undefeated at home last season until the meltdown in the wild card round versus the Green Bay Packers. Their home dominance was expected to continue this offseason, but instead, they have been dominated in 2 outings. First, the New Orleans Saints thrashed them by the score of 44-19. Then, the Baltimore Ravens strolled in and rushed for 274 yards in a 28-25 victory. Don't let the final score fool you. Baltimore was winning 28-6 at the start of the fourth quarter. We all knew an undefeated streak at home wouldn't last, but it's not the losses themselves that matter so much. It's the manner of defeat. Dallas was pounded into the turf in both these losses. They better whip themselves into shape because relying solely on road victories won't get teams very far in today's NFL. Trouble in San Francisco. San Francisco 49ers players sending postcards to family members across the country had better use a stamp in the shape of the Red Cross. The 49ers are one of the most banged-up teams in the league, and it has contributed to their 2 losses. Kyle Shanahan's team has Super Bowl aspirations, but they will need to overcome a rash of injuries to even make the playoffs. Expected to be one of the most dominant teams in the NFL, they have already lost DT Javon Hargrave for the season with RB Christian McCaffrey not too far behind. Injuries to WR Deebo Samuel, TE George Kittle, and LB Fred Warner also have the fan base panicking. Shanahan is a great coach. They will get healthy and be okay, and probably just in time to face the Cowboys in Week 8. Rainy days in Jacksonville. What's up with the Jacksonville Jaguars? They have a freshly paid quarterback, and if we are using Dak Prescott's logic, Trevor Lawrence's money should be enough of a motivator for him to mask all the deficiencies the Jaguars have. These deficiencies can be of the defensive or special teams variety, even though Lawrence doesn't play on that side of the ball. Sorry, those are just the rules. HC Doug Peterson might lose his job if the Jaguars don't get into the win column starting next week at home versus the banged-up Indianapolis Colts. Bill Bellichick could stick it to Robert Kraft by taking Cowboys' head coaching job. The legendary coach was named a potential candidate to succeed Mike McCarthy in Dallas. Bill Belichick has already proven himself to be one of the greatest coaches of all time, but one insider believes he could have another motivation pushing him to return to the NFL revenge. Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio suggested that Belichick will have plenty of interest in the next round of coaching vacancies, putting the Dallas Cowboys at the top of the list. While Florio noted that Cowboys owner Jerry Jones ultimately will be too cheap to pay Belichick, he suggested Dallas could be an attractive destination for Belichick even at a lower pay grade. Florio added that playing for Jerry Jones would give Belichick a chance to one-up the New England Patriots owner amid bad blood between the two. Another attraction would be the opportunity to stick it to his former employer, given the rivalry between Jones and Patriots owner Robert Kraft, Florio wrote. There were rumors that Jones could fire Mike McCarthy following the team's first-round playoff exit last season, but Jones ultimately released a statement saying McCarthy would be back. I believe this team is very close and capable of achieving our ultimate goals, and the best step forward for us will be with Mike McCarthy as our head coach, Jones said in that statement, via USA Today. There is great benefit to continuing the team's progress under Mike's leadership as our head coach.